Ryan was driving her blue scooter in the city to deliver pizzas as a part-time job. She delivered this order at the door, and now there was one last order left. She sighed, feeling tired. Today she had lots of work to do in college too, and now her part-time job also exhausted her. She looked up at the address again. It was a little far and she was already late. She had to complete her assignments plus rest. But she couldn't skip the order. She had to do this. Therefore, she went there to finish the job. When she reached at the place, she found it weird. But then again, she had seen lots of weird places where people would order pizzas. It was nothing new for her. Rolling her eyes slightly, she parked the scooter on the side. Stepping down, she removed the helmet. Ryan was a college student in her late teens. She wore a blue-white checked street-style shirt and black-colored ripped wide-leg shorts. She had green eyes, sharp nose, and the wolf cut suited best to her brown hair. She quickly dialed the customer's number. "Hello sir, you ordered pizzas. I'm outside with your order. Kindly collect it," she said politely. "Where are you exactly?" The person from the other side of the phone spoke. His voice was husky and raw, which for some reason made her curious what he would look like. Oh, she looked at front at the old warehouse. "Here, outside this warehouse?" "Come inside the warehouse," he said. She rolled her eyes. She was already late and they couldn't even take the delivery from the door. But it wasn't like she could curse. She had to be polite. It wasn't her nature to act rude. "Yeah, sure," she said in a low voice before ending the call. She sighed, picking up the boxes from the scooter and went inside. "Hello," she spoke as soon as she walked in, but no one responded. The area was empty. Then she walked few steps forward and saw some men were sitting there playing cards while drinking. Some were smoking. They all looked at her, and now she beginning to feel a bit scared. All of them had this cold look on their faces, like they would quickly pick up a fight and could get angry at anything. What were those people? Gamblers, gangsters, thugs, or what? She swallowed hard, still trying her best to not fidget and hide her fear. She told herself in her head that she just had to do her job and go back, nothing to be scared of. "Who ordered pizzas here?" she stammered a bit as she asked nervously. A man pointed at the other group where some men were sitting on the couches. She quickly walked towards them. They didn't seem good people, in fact bad. There were guns around, bottle of alcohol, whatever they were doing were all illegal activities. Many in front of her and she didn't know how many hidden from her. She was still perplexed and scared while thinking when a man in black who was sitting on the couch, his back facing her, spoke. "Pizza delivery girl?" The same husky voice she heard on phone, which made her to flinch slightly. She uttered. "You ordered it, sir?" "Keep them here," he said, pointing at the table. She was low-key annoyed. Couldn't he just take it and keep it there? But since there were also guns on the table, she thought, let's not take any risks. She wouldn't want to offend such dangerous people. She weighed the situation. The man who talked to her was sitting like a leader, and all of the other men were sitting like they were there to serve him. At least that was what she assumed. She walked over and kept the pizzas on the table while she took a glance at him. Whoa, her heart skipped a beat. The man was extremely attractive, probably the most gorgeous man she had ever laid her eyes on. He had a scar on his right cheekbone, but it was just adding more to his beauty. His hair fell right over his eyelid when he tilted his head and looked at her. Her eyes connected to his mesmerizing gaze when she realized she had to reach home alive. She flinched and looked away, making him to smirk slightly. She was caught staring at him like a desperate sim. She was so embarrassed. "That will be $, sir," she said nervously. He took out the money while watching her from head to toe. Why was he even looking at her like that? She was confused, though she couldn't stop staring at him because he was extremely good looking, but she looked like a tomboy at that particular time. She thought if she had known she'd meet someone so charming while delivering pizzas, she would have groomed herself a bit. He handed her the money. She nervously took it from his hand. "Have a good day, sir." She was ready to storm out now when he spoke. "Wait." She stopped on her tracks, hearing his voice. She turned her face to him. "Is there a problem?" She realized he sounded impolite. "Sir?" Then she added, "What's your name?" he asked while staring at her intensely, his brooding and intoxicating gaze making her nervous. "My name?" she said. "It's Ryan." "Do you study in school?" She couldn't understand why he was taking her interview all of a sudden. "I'm a college student," she corrected him, maintaining a polite tone. "Why do you deliver pizzas? To earn money?" Wasn't that obvious, she thought. He kept looking at her all the time. His gaze wouldn't stumble or move even for a second, and it was making her so nervous. Couldn't he just move his eyes away for a second so she could breathe? She thought. She couldn't even make eye contact with him for long. She had to keep looking down every 5 seconds. He was really intimidating and extremely hot. "Why?" he questioned. "Your family's financial condition is bad or something?" "Oh, no," she forced a smile. "My family is fine. I'm just trying to live on my own, earn my own money." "Oh, by delivering pizzas?" It didn't sound like he mocked her, but he definitely did. It was just his voice was serious, but she could feel he definitely making fun of her, and it really annoyed her. She wanted to say a lot, but she held it back, starting from something as something is better than nothing. She responded lightly, "That's good. I hope you succeed in what you're trying to achieve," he said. "Even if you couldn't, you can always come to me." He rested his back on the couch, his gaze unreadable. What did he say? Did she hear it right? She thought. "What do you mean?" Her brows creased in confusion. He slowly stood up, closer to her. He was fairly tall. She had to lift her gaze to keep the intense eye contact. "You know what I mean," he replied. "I have all the money and other things you need." He chewed his lower lip, which only increased Ryan's heartbeat, her heart beginning to pound in her chest. The slight smirk on his lips told her everything. It offended her for many reasons. "Excuse me?" She raised her voice a little. "I'm not that type of girl. If you think you can buy me with money, you're wrong. Maybe you've been around such kind of girls, but I'm not one of them." She was disappointed at what he said, and it made her furious. He definitely did not seem like a nice person. It was very obvious since he was sitting around the guns and gamblers. He thought he could buy every girl who'd catch his eyes, which she didn't like at all. Her words made him angry for sure, but he stayed quiet. She wasn't going to stay for another word. She was about to leave when he grabbed her by her elbow and pushed her on the sofa. She gasped. He shot his hands up to either side of her head, locking her body underneath him. He looked into her eyes deeply, giving her a sharp glare. She glanced at the men who were sitting at the other side of the couch, but they moved their gazes away as though they saw nothing. She looked at the man hovered on top of her, his gaze furious and mesmerizing at the same time. Her heart was beating rapidly. "If I want, I can have you right now," he groaned. "If I'm being nice to you, appreciate it, because I'm not really a nice person, and if I want something, I just get it. I don't ask for it." Ryan's breathing was coming fast in soft pants as she gulped, hearing his words. He was so close to her. With this proximity, she could feel his breath on her open lips. His hypnotic scent felt like it was making her go high. He was gorgeous but equally dangerous. His word hit her when he said he wanted her. "Did you get it, girl?" he asked. She swallowed hard, nodding her head. He stood up and pulled her by her hand to make her stand. "You can go now," he told her. "You have my number. Don't forget to call me." She slowly nodded her head. She did not know why wouldn't she even say something. Why would she give up so easily? Was she scared of him? Or she just wanted to call him? It was probably the latter. She slowly walked away, still lost, when again his voice stopped her. "And," he said. She turned around and looked at him, waiting for him to complete his sentence. "If you did not call me or tried to hide from me," he said, walking closer to her, "you can't even imagine what I'm capable of doing." Was it a threat? She thought. Before she could speak, he softly circled his arm around her waist. Heat rose from her stomach to her chest. She felt shivers run down her spine to his manly touch. His touch was differently sensual and possessive. He pulled her closer to him. "Also, I wasn't saying I'll buy you with money or something. You misunderstood. I meant you could always count on me if you need anything, any help." She was just standing there with a vacant expression on her face when he said that. She did feel something when she looked at him at first, and she wanted to call him again despite of what he told her and what she told him in anger. She could let it slide. She thought she was a bit crazy. What could possibly happen if she would go out with a man like him? He was not someone she should have gotten involved with. She knew he was someone she should run away from, but she didn't want to. But she wanted to see where it would go. She thought it was worth giving a shot. He was worth it. "I'll call you," she said, raising her eyebrows a bit with a shy smile on her face. He nodded with an amused smirk.